Good morning and a warm welcome to my craft room. I'm going to be doing a 12 by 12 layout. Yes, you heard it right, and I'm going to be using the Petal Perfection accordion die. And because I used that accordion die and wanted to use two of them, and the woodland foliage frame die, aren't these gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. I die cut everything from each one of the die sets. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to make a small card using everything. So I ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to make a layout. And this is day 3, the final day on the blog hop. I hope everybody went over and left some inspiration and you know all of the goodness that you have an opportunity to win. This is the Happy Day set, and I also cut all of the pieces parts twice. And you're probably saying to yourself, how on earth are you going to make one card using everything here? And I absolutely love that accordion die. I did some wonderful things with that. And I wanted to use the woodland set, and I'm showing you the center there because I did cut that out, I think, each one of these twice. And you know what? Up until now, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but on this one, I knew it was going to be a shaker with that sink and swim stamp. The most adorable polka doodle stamp I have seen. I love it. In the boat and with the lobster in there. They've got a shovel for moving the boat. So crazy cute. Yes, and here are the wonderful papers. This is the Country Friend Sweet Pea 6x6 pack of thick cardstock. Now, I want to use this accordion die, and it fits exactly. You put it, 6x6, so you can put it either way, right? So you lay it down, and you will get all of these delicious accordion die cuts, I guess, finished product. And then I had to pick out what colors, and I went again with the mauve and the pink. Yes, everything's coming up roses. I also want to remind you as you're looking over there that I cut out white with my 140-pound cardstock, and it die cut wonderfully as well. So here I'm just putting it back. I'm trying to think to myself, okay, you have, I think there was 6 cuts with the accordion die in white, and 6 cuts with the pink, and 6 cuts with the mauve up there. And then I figured I had enough to make one of those beautiful rosettes. And I'm using the POLKADOODLES Sink and Swim stamp. Adorableness right here. There are all these little animals in the boat, little lobster and fish coming up the side, and they have a shovel that they're using as an oar. I mean sink, oar, swim. You can say O-R, O-R-R. It's a beautiful stamp. So I'm getting it situated with my magnets so it doesn't move. But you know what? On these stamps, they're very sticky on the top. So it's not going to drop off. You're not going to lose it. So where you're going to have to worry about where you put your paper. And again, this is the Watermark I'm using. That's the clear ink, so that I can emboss it with gold. I'm going to do the gold again. And yeah, so I just press it down, kind of, it's a rubber stamp and it has a lot of details, and absolutely gorgeous when you get that embossed. And especially with gold. My last card, actually when I did the animal card, I did it in gold, and I really liked the effect. So I thought this time I would use the zigs. So I will share some things I found out about using the zigs with you when we get to there. And you know, I always forget to put the powder down so that I don't get any strays. And I forgot again, so here I am just going to look around and make sure I get all the spots and take out where I shouldn't have the spots. I don't know what it is about that. I have three. I have a powder bag, I have a shaker bag, and I have baby powder sitting right here. And I don't use them, I just forget. So let's move on about that. We don't want to go there, right? So I take an older paintbrush, one that I don't use, just a dollar store where nothing's a dollar brush, and I'm wiping my liquid Versamark. I bought a couple of these and don't regret it. This is great for spots you can't get into when you're using your Watermark or Versamark to stamp with. Well, this gives you the freedom to do all kinds of designs with the paintbrush just by dipping it into the liquid Versamark. So here I went over all the edges I want gold. I wasn't fussy because I like the vintage look, but I did try to get all the tips, and then I set them over to the side, and I will do them after because that way the heat tool will be nice and hot. I'll just, and watch your fingers. Really watch your fingers on this. Especially because it has the hole cuts there. You don't want to have your hand behind there. And then move along with, you know, a nice slow steady pace. I only did the one side because I was going to put the rosette down onto something, but I wasn't quite sure because I thought if I use a card with these rosettes, it's going to at least be an 8x8 card. That's what I was thinking. It's going to be a big one. Yes, this is not going to be an A2 size card. No way, yeah. And now that we're reaching 1:45 in the morning, I'm feeling pretty relaxed and tired and all the things that go on with doing a voiceover this early in the morning. But the edit was so long, I had to bring the edit down to a reasonable viewing time, right? So that's what I worked on before this. And anywho, yeah, I love it. That's why I put those hearts in there. So I took my ATG 1/4 inch to put down each panel, and it works great. You can use liquid glue, whatever. I'm just taking the goobers out of the holes because I'm not being careful. I want the ATG glue to go right across that hole so I don't miss the top part. So it's glued down. And then it depends on how you die cut it, whether it's perfectly straight at the end. And I love this part. You could fuss with this part forever. You'll get it down and all of a sudden you'll just, you'll turn your head for a second and then boink, it opens up on you. And look at me. Yeah. It was just like, should I glue it to the table and then try putting it down, a big glob in the center? But I managed. It probably took me, that's probably what took so long. It probably took me 6 hours to get that rosette put together so that it all squished in the middle. But I did it, and there you have it. I worked with the liquid glue until my mind all of a sudden went, boom, 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 Carol, your hot glue gun. What are you doing? If you use the hot glue, you're not going to wait like you're going to wait with liquid glue. But I managed to figure it out after a while. And I used this beautiful Happy Day set. Look at the way it's actually embossed. Each one of those holes has an emboss. If you could get close enough to it, you would see that. It's beautiful. And then there's a double stitch, almost like a railroad track, that you can run ribbon through on the die that's smaller than this. It's really unusual. So many possibilities. And look how long. I think this is 16 feet long. That's how it felt when I was gathering it up. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, I hope this doesn't boing out. So I'm doing it again. I'm getting it all ready. And even my kitties thought, boy, this is going to be fun. Let's watch this. We'll be laughing for a week. Anyway, you gotta have fun, right? That's what these tutorials are all about. And the blog hop, I'm sad that it's over. 3 days. And boy, if you hopped over on the design team blogs, a lot of inspiration, wasn't there? Beautiful, beautiful, talented people showing wonderful things you can do with this new May release. So I needed to have a top and a bottom, so I grabbed some of my old punches and I picked out a scallop and I picked out a smaller circle. It was quicker for me than to die cut again because I could have used the Happy Days set and ran it through the die machine, but this was right beside me in my unit and I thought, oh, just grab them, and you're not going to see this because I'm going to put the LDRS created dies on top. And here we go. The reason why, okay, I'm creating the card here, okay? I'm thinking now, how am I going to do this? I want to have a shaker, so I grab that piece. I want to make it so it's not super huge, you know, like 16 by 14. Yeah, so I skipped that part. Look at me. I've gone back to making this for some strange reason. Had my hot glue. I thought, oh, I'll decide on what I'm going to do after I finish making these gorgeous rosettes, and adding the gold to the end with any other color just makes it look so shabby chic, but yet so vintagely beautiful. Is that a sentence? I just love the look of this. It's very regal. And here I am again, trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to make a card from this? But then if I cover it with the sink or swim stamp, you're not going to see my rosette. And then I thought, well, what if I shove that other one way in there? No, let's just rain some gold and think about it. So I grabbed a paper pack, and by the looks of it, it was a really good deal, $6.99. I did get that. It must have been from Tuesday morning over in Buffalo. And I thought, here we go. It's going to be a layout. I love layouts. I think I've made 6 of them in 5 years. That's not bad, right? So, and I have all this 12 by 12 paper from making albums. I used to make a lot of albums. So I had stash, and I had all of the little goodies that go along with making a layout. And I thought, why not? I haven't made one for a year. Let's go for it. And I'll be practicing because I have 2 layouts to do on another channel. So this is going to be great. So here we go. I mean gold, of course, because the tips of this is gold, and my embossed animals are gold. So let's go with the gold. So I cut a strip, and I'm just laying it out. I guess that's why they call it a layout, right? You just lay your stuff out until you get satisfied. And I love the fact I'm using punches. And I love this punch. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I love the kind of oval cuts in it. And I'm going to, it's not going to look like this. I'm going to rearrange it, but isn't that nice? I mean, and you don't use a lot of paper when you do a layout. I ended up buying these white layered, this white thick paper just for layouts. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. You get 100 sheets, and it's actually called layout paper, and it's really thick. It's like my 140-pound cardstock, and it's 12 by 12. So I put a straight edge on, probably 4 inches by 12. Then I took a piece and I tore it down, and then on one side I took my distress tool. So one side is distressed, the other side is just torn, so that I could fold it back with my fingers. Now I will distress along the edges of this, cut it down, slide it in there, and here's where the fun begins. A layout, my friends, is a wonderful way to be creative. It has so many elements. It's really a card in big form, you know? And so here's where the change up came. Okay, get your ATG gun. Remember, this is my 1/2 inch. And I'm practicing here, getting it all ready. And I'm going to slide that in now so I don't have to, you know, pull the paper up. I don't want any unnecessary creases. And you know I like working with gold. And I just ordered 5 tubes of Heidi Swapp gold embossing paste. And it was beautiful. There they are right there. I took one out and I'm going to use my Tim Holtz mat over on the side as soon as I move everything out so that I can squirt a little bit over right there, yeah, and work with it. I want it to be like sun rays. I wanted the stripes to be in different directions, and you'll see that because I had this, it's like a sunflower burst, and I used the same stripe paper so that I could get all of the lines going in different directions for this layout. And I really, yeah, I had to use, I wanted it nice and thick. I didn't want to leave any blank holes in this, and that's a Tim Holtz stencil. Then I clean up because I'm going to slide my page over, but I always put a page from a 12 by 12 pack underneath, like on the back side, because you know I don't like any white cardstock showing. So I do have a design on the back later on. And I slid that nice ripped piece, that torn piece in. I snuck it in there. Did you see it? And yeah, so now I'm going to cut the edge off so it is nice and crisp. And we're going to start to lay out this layout. Now that round corrugated piece of paper was from some dishes I bought last year. And you know how they have all that corrugated board in between your plates? Well, I kept them all, and I'm so glad I did. So now I'm getting my P.H. Martin inks, and half of them are inks, and half of them are paints. So I'm using the ink portion, like the India ink ones. I used it in this deep, deep navy. I wanted to bring out this contrast in like everything bright on this, and I used the yellow, like the sunburst coming out of the upper right corner, so I used some yellow. And then I was looking at it and I thought, I'm just going to throw on some LDRS Creative clear embossing paste here. No, actually it's the white. I poured white. I didn't put any of the Versamark or that Watermark. I was thinking about the Versamark liquid because it is corrugated and it has to. So here I took the liquid and I put it right down deep and I drew lines just like it was falling down like we did at the beginning. You know, just let it pour down. And I'm going to add gold, of course. So right over top of the white, then I put the gold, and then we're going to heat set it, and this is going to go on sideways. I don't think, yes, it's on the left side, and that way it'll be running the same way as the stripes on the right. There we go. Then I cut it off, and in one of the packs, the Happy Day packs of dies, you have these beautiful flowers. And there's the die cut flowers I was talking about. See how I cut it out of the stripe paper? And that way all the outside of this, it looks like a wildflower, is white, and then the center is the stripe. And I thought it would give it some lovely contrast. And now I have the two flowers. They remind me of big sunflower, like wildflowers in a field, especially the gold one. And the beautiful paper from the Country Friends Sweet Pea collection. And then the same paper that I ran down there against the stripe is the Sweet Pea paper. And I wanted to use different punches so that I could get different designs. So I'll do that, yeah, and just moving it around, knowing that this is going to be a shaker card. So here's another oldie but goodie stamp that I had in my stash with 5 million punches, excuse me, not stamps, they're punches. I haven't used them for so long I can't remember what they're called. So I put this one up against there, and you know, and then while I'm thinking, I'm just going to grow a rose while I'm thinking about this, because those beautiful flowers that in this piece that I just put down had little rose type flowers. And yeah, here, isn't it nice to watch somebody experiment? But we have to color. So it's time to color with my zigs. And I'm going to share a few things with you because you know I love to color. But there's a few no-nos that you need to know before using zigs. One, don't use it on regular cardstock because the color does not spread. It seems to be just like a magic marker. I would put it on a piece of acrylic, like glass, and then put the water on it, and then move the color that you want from your acrylic, or your glass, whatever you have. Mix the color from there and then put it on, because as you can see, that dark pink, it just stayed there because it's regular cardstock. I could not move it with the water. So it just reminded me next time I'm going to work from a piece of acrylic and then put the water onto the zig and then move it with my paintbrush over to the paper. So now I'm adding all kinds of colors that are in that one cardstock that we used right there, the accordion die. I picked out all the little colors and I made the water that color so it would match. And I held about 6 of the zigs in my hand, and there was no rhyme or reason. I just, oh, and I also put the beautiful stamp beside me because they're colored in. So you get your inspiration right there on the package, which is great. You know, if you're having, mind block, you don't know what colors to use, look right on the package. Then I went into my stash, and I mean, I'm digging deep here. This is from the dollar store I bought 3 or 4 years ago, and they're rub-ons. And they're just as fresh from 4 years ago at my dollar store where nothing's $1. Can you believe it? And it was the exact colors, this beautiful teal color that I'm working with. And I put smile because you know I'm always sending out a smile. And it had the gold. I couldn't believe it. I mean, stash is wonderful, and it is stash, right? I thought, wow, I have actual rub-ons, and this is great. I was telling a friend today that I can really get into this layout thing and scrapbooking. It is a wonderful, creation to do. It really works your artsy mind as you're trying to, lay out all your things on your 12 by 12 sheet. I think they actually call it a spread, right? I've been watching videos because I'm going to be doing 2 layouts for my friend over on another channel in June. So I wanted to be versed, and I thought, here, I'm going to practice. So here's some more I had in my stash, and look at that, gold, brown, and teal. Can you believe it? It was like waiting for me. And I put moments in time, and I put all nice sayings anyway. I can't hardly see it because I don't know if it's late or, I've got fuzzy eyes right now. And it's just 4 minutes after 1 in the morning. We're still okay. I haven't fallen asleep on you, right? So I'm putting all of these nice sayings on the stripes and down on the corner there on the left side where I'm going to put my shaker card. And then I get out my gold script washi tape, and I've seen people using a lot of their washi tape up on spreads, on layouts, so I did that. Now here I remember I put Friends right over top of that nice little darling rubber stamp creative paper. And now the layout, I'm going around saying, and I had this light bulb and it said create. But the reason why I didn't use it, it looked like the focal point, and I didn't want that to be the focal point. My focal point is the beautiful Sink and Swim stamp. Yes, so I had to take that off because my eye is drawn right to the light bulb. So anyway, so I grabbed the second portion of the Happy Days die, and I put it over top, and then I had this, you get this at Joann's, and it is like it looks like water. It's really like acrylic, It's really thick, and when you look at it different angles, it does look like waves and water and all wonky. And when I do cards that involve having little fish, that's why I put the fish tank at the beginning. Isn't that soothing? I thought I would put that on there, and then I would get out some things I have. Yeah, I thought of that. Look, I can't get rid of that light bulb. Just put it away, Carol. That'll really help you. So as I'm designing, I went again to my cupboard on the island I work with. It has a lot of cupboard space, and all of my thickers from 5 years till now are piled in here, and I have some beautiful ones. They used to make such nice, like different fonts back in the day, and I really loved this. It was like a ghosting font. It went from dark to almost it disappeared on the bottom. It was really pretty, and it was in the gray. And I was thinking of using that, but then once I got it on that, I don't know what to call that piece. I know the name of it, and it's not coming to me, but it's that thick, we'll call it thick acetate for now, that looks like water. And you do get that in packages at Joann's. So here I saw this. It's silver, and it almost looks like little diamonds, but it's not. It's flat. And I want to put LDRS 2018. That is the name of the layout here. It's Little Darling Rubber Stamp 2018 to remind me of Day 3's blog hop. And this is certainly a memory. And my picture that's going to be on my spread is the sink and swim animals in the boat, almost like Noah's Ark. It's so cute. So I just take my little knife here to situate the letters, and how I do it, I don't show it here. I might move it over, but if you're having problems with making it straight and you don't want to use a ruler, go over to one of the stripes and lay it down, because you can see through it, and then you'll get it straight across. And I think I show you, I put it down like I eyeball it, and then I go right there, and I make sure, see, I had to move it, that 2 was at alignment. Then once I got it, it's ready to go on top of my, that beautiful, I call it a flower, but it's excuse me, see, he comes every time. And now, yeah, I'm used to him now, so he doesn't annoy me. He doesn't, when I see him, he doesn't get my mind off topic. So here I took the gorgeous LDRS, and I used I'm going to get it here, which color I used. It's beautiful. It's the Lala Lavender. That's what I used. Or lavender. Lavender or lavender. Depends how you feel that day. How you pronounce it. So this is the Deco Art Metallic Luster in Champagne Ice. And I'm telling you, I have been using that thing for 4 years, and it doesn't look like anything has come out of it. Yes, that's why I'm showing it to you like that. And that's the dollar store thingy that I bought at my dollar store when nothing's a dollar. It has that foam pink thing on the end that's sliced cattywampus. I'm going to use that word. It's kind of on a slant. And then it has the nice powder puff on the other end. So it's at my dollar store, so it was probably $3.50. Because nothing's a dollar. I can't get over that. Yeah. So here we go. We're going to put that LDRS, Little Darling Rubber Stamp. I couldn't fit creative on there. So I put the 2018. And I thought it looked beautiful. Excuse me. The first number is in silver, like the L. And then the 2000, the 2 is in the silver. And the rest are in these like little studded, they look like diamonds, but not. And now, on a spread, you need to put some color, right? Yes. So I'm going around my spread. And talk about spread. I have a half of a peanut butter and honey sandwich sitting beside me. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I wanted to show you something in there. I don't know what I'm reaching for there. But I had this clear gel, okay? And I had this tool that made, it had little notches in it. So I spread the gel out on the bottom, right up to almost 3/4 up the boat. And then I took this tool from Tim Holtz with the little, it just had little nubbies missing out of it, and I made a wave. And when that gel dried clear, it looked like water. It looked like water, all different direction, going across, just like the stripe in the paper. And it dried beautiful, and when I put my beads in there, oh my, it went in, the blue teal beads went in between the gel on the water, and it looked real. I'm not kidding. You have to get your eyes right up to your screen to look at it when I put the pictures up. I think you're going to love it. So these are teeny weeny little hearts in gold. I'm going to put this on the back of my layout because even though, you know, a layout, I'm not putting this in a book because it's not flat. So I hang them, and I'm going to show you how I hang my layouts. And then if I give them away, I just add the hanger with it as a gift. So I have best friends down there on the bottom where all these little best friend animals are. That's where it's going to be. There's the punch. I'm putting everything on with my hot glue. And I am really enjoying the process. This artsy process had me mesmerized all day. I just took my time, as you can tell, because now it's 1:15 in the morning and I'm doing a voiceover because I just wanted to take my time and make a lovely layout using all these wonderful products that are in our May design release. I'm trying to think of my words here. And yeah, aren't they beautiful this month? They're just beautiful every month. And I bought these organizational things I'm going to show you, and each project I'm going to do, I separated them so I can get it done. Get her done. Now here's my 6-inch Suquang tape. Just took 2 swipes. Look at that. And I'm going to be able to put that paper on quick as can be. Yep. Lickety split. That's what I was looking for. So be careful because that is not coming off. If you made it crooked, it's staying crooked. Yes. So just cut it off, you know. The longer the scissor, the straighter your cut's going to be. I'll throw that one in for free. And yeah, let's get going here. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, let's add some more of these little colored, you know, colored, whatever you call these things. Let me just think. My dots, my colored dots. I wanted to match it up, and those are the punch flowers. And then I put the flowers that I die cut out of the Happy Day die collection. And then I put one of these beautiful colored dots. And these enamel dots, there it is, enamel dots. They come in flat, matte, and shiny. So you get the best of both worlds. So I'm putting them in between, like in the center of the flowers, and here and there. I took that one off. I didn't like it there. I put a light colored one because there is a flower in that looks identical to the die cut flower in my rub-ons. Yes, so I'm liking it. I'm loving the fact that I'm using washi tape. You get to use your washi tape up. And I use washi tape when I make my envelopes on the inside. Oh yes, color, color, color. Flutter, flutter, flutter. I needed that just to wake me up. It's now, you know, almost 20 after 1. I don't know why I'm watching the time because I really don't care. I have to talk until this is finished, right? So I could have put it on music, but I don't like that. I like to chit-chat and let you know what I'm doing. You know, sometimes you do something, and if you're not talking, nobody knows what it is you're trying to tell them. So here's a close-up look at that gold on that splatter. Did you see that? That was a gold dot, nice big half circle. There's my, I didn't know if it was the Eiffel Tower, but I wanted it to be, a lighthouse because it had seagulls. And I thought, it's a lighthouse. I just made like it was a lighthouse. Now I need to have, look at this. this oval fit perfect for my shaker. I couldn't believe it. I just opened it up. You saw me. And there it was, the perfect oval. Now, the sets that I'm using, I probably could have cut out from the woodland foliage frames. I didn't even think of that at the time, but I didn't want to have any frills on it, like any edges. So I thought I'll just make a straight cut like this, and I'll save the gut parts. I just have my micropore tape holding it down, which I like because it doesn't take up all the paper when you remove it. And we're going to move on to making a beautiful shaker. Now the reasoning for the shaker is twofold. Oh, and I put little googly eyes on all of those little animals too, just so you know. I don't know if I kept it in there, but I did. All different sizes. It was so cute. Now I'm cutting down my thick acetate. Somebody asked me what acetate I buy. They're called page protectors because it's really thick. I mean, listen to me, I like my cardstock thick and I like my acetate thick. And yeah, so they're page protectors I get at the stationery store, my famous stationery store. Now I'm going to do the edges with my finger dauber. Haven't used those for a while. And I used the La La Lavender, and then I took out that gold luster. Look at that, it's champagne ice. It's deco art, metallic luster. And it looks just like the gold. Everything's coming up gold. Not roses, it's coming up gold. Isn't it pretty? Now, because that's so thin going across that oval, I'm going to use the 16-inch double-sided tape. And I'm going to put the acetate, the page protector acetate, over top of that. But I have to lift it up twofold because of the beads I'm putting in there. So I'm using those double-sided adhesive. They're acid-free by LDRS, and they are super thin. It's 1/8 of an inch by 3 3/4 inches long, and you get 33 pieces to a pack. So it's super, super thin for all those little areas you can't reach with the Scotch foam. You can't cut it that thin. And I wrapped it around, and now I'm putting another layer on top to protect those beautiful beads from coming out anywhere. I chose to just use the prills in the aquanet color. I didn't put two colors in there because we colored the water all different colors on there. And you can see the gold just popping right off the page using the zigs. So I take this off. I'm going to put, and you know what else was funny? When I took that second piece right here, it went exactly like the, you know, I didn't have to match it up. It just seemed to match up by itself, the pattern. It was beautiful. And looky, you're working in the rule of thirds, and you have 3 layers raised up, and that's awesome. I guess I'm going to show you how I tape that again. It must have seemed important. You want to put whatever raised up with flat double-sided tape, and whatever you need raised up, use the thicker tape. And I highly recommend that LDRS strips in the 1/8 inch. Can you imagine? It's only 1/8 of an inch. It's so fine that, yeah, it seems to be hard to find, but I managed it, and I really do like it. So I'm taking it off again for you, and we're going to seat it down. Then I'm going to show you how the whole layout looks. But the funny part is I couldn't leave the white. You know me with white cardstock. So I went out and got some sprays. Yes, some gold spray, some teal spray. I used 4 different, the Tim Holtz stain. I used the, 4 different types of sprays. And I came back to actually, yeah, it's coming up gold. I came back to show you, I grabbed the camera and came back because I wanted to show you how I was splattering it and how I sprayed it without getting anything all over. And yeah, it didn't film. The pictures took, but the film didn't. I didn't turn it on. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, it was late and I didn't want to make it any later, so I just settled for the pictures. So when you see the pictures at the end, you're going to see some of them with just the plain white paper showing, without any splatters. And then you're going to see the splatters at the end of the pictures. And I'd like to know in the comments which you like better on this layout. Do you like it with it clean and white? Or do you like the fact that it has the same colors that are in the shaker card with the animals? Do you like having splatters? And there you go. Am I showing? Yeah, there's my, it looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's not. It's my lighthouse, yes. And there's all the colors we worked with. I think the gold stood out, the LDRS 2018. The flowers, and can you see the lines? You probably can't yet. There's the back, and I want to thank everybody for coming over on day 1, 2, and now today to check out all the inspiration for the May release. And here's the hanger I'm going to put it on. So when I give it away, it's going to be able to hang it up, because you can't put this, it's too thick. You don't want to put this in a scrapbook, I don't think anyway. My layouts that I used to make back in the day, I liked them because they were 3D, and I hanged them with these hangers. That's why I bought these ones. They come with the roses, and then they come without any. You can get either or. And there you have it, my friends. Well, there you have it. I'm just showing you all the different elements. And let me know at the end, do you like it plain like this without anything on the white cardstock? Or do you like it with splatters? I really would like to know. And don't the rub-ons look really nice? I like that. And I like the fact that it just seemed to come together. You know, you've got the corrugated board, you have the stripes, the ovals, the circles, everything's in there. And that sun shining down is beautiful. Yeah, and the papers, I love the Sweet Pea 6x6 pack, and I like the fact that we used it as a shaker. And I used for my splatter, I used the Distress Paint in the sponge sugar. I used the Perfect Pearl Gold Mist to mist it with the gold, and I used some of the Distress Stains and the Lindy Stamp Gang spray. And you'll see all that at the end. So have yourself a blessed week. Thank you for joining. Hop on over and check everybody else's projects out. I know you'll love them. And we will see you on my next project. And thank you so much for joining the hop. Take care, everybody.